Hi everyone, it is Alex with Holistic Movement Pilates. Today I have more of a stretching class for you today. It is going to be a mixture between strengthening and stretching. Our emphasis will be on the stretch, but again, today is going to be a little more lengthen and strengthen. So we're going to start with one heavy spring on your reformer. Your foot bars are going to be all the way up. We're going to stand on the left side of your reformer, and whenever I say sides, I mean if you're lying down, that side. So if you're lying down on the left side of your reformer, you're going to stand right on the side facing the foot bar. Your right foot is going to go back to the shoulder block that is closest to you. Knee is going to be down onto the carriage. The left foot is just going to be on the floor right by your foot bar. Both hands are going to be to the left side of your foot bar. And then we're going to press the carriage out with our right leg first. Again, we're on one heavy spring. We're going to push the carriage out with our left leg next. And then we are going to pause. Now, from here, the right leg is going to stay in the same spot. I'm going to bend my left knee to bring the carriage in slowly. And then when I can't bend my left knee anymore, then my right knee is going to finish pulling the carriage all the way back in. So again, I'm going to push the carriage out with my right knee. I'm going to press the carriage out with my left leg. I'm going to pause. Then I'm going to bend my left knee to start to bring the carriage in. And then when it can't come in anymore, my right knee is going to finish pulling back in. We're going to do 3 more like that. Right knee pushes out, left leg pushes out. We pause, we bend the left knee, and then we finish bringing the carriage all the way back in with the right. Again, 2 more. Right leg goes out, left leg goes out, we pause, and then the left knee goes in, and then the right knee comes back in. Now we're going to push back out one time and we're going to hold ourselves out there. So I'm going to push out with my right leg. I'm going to push out with my left leg. I'm going to hold myself here, pushing out a little further, dropping my chest, trying to stretch out the back of the left leg, the front of the right. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Now, right knee again stays. I'm going to bend my left knee to bring the carriage in with my left. My right knee stays back here. Both hands go to the very outside of my foot bar, to the left side, not the right. And I'm going to push my right hip down and find as much length in the right side of the body as I possibly can, so that I'm getting right into my hip flexor, my psoas, my quad, my obliques, and then you might get a little stretch in your lats as well. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, then we bring the carriage all the way back in, we pause, we stay on the side. We rotate towards our reformer, so our toes are pointed forward. Our right foot stays here. I'm going to take my hands onto the carriage. I'm going to push out with my legs into splits, and you can just hold whatever feels best. If you're super flexible and you can go a little further out, feel free. Range of motion is up to you. Just trying to give those adductors a nice stretch. And since we are cold starting with the stretch, it might feel a little different than when we end with these stretches. Okay, very carefully, I'm just going to bring my carriage back in, and I'm going to rotate back towards my foot bar. Okay, we're going to go into some core work now in this same setup. So I'm going to keep my right foot back onto the shoulder block. Heel is going to be lifted up nice and high. Both hands are going to go onto the foot bar, but my right knee is now lifted off of the carriage. I'm going to push the carriage all the way out with my right leg. I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to bend my left knee so I push the carriage out even further. Now I think we're going to go into more of like a pike rather than a plank. So I'm going to start to lift my hips up. I'm going to tuck my pelvis, and I'm going to lift my left foot straight off the floor. The carriage should be all the way in. I'm going to carefully set my left foot down, bend my knee to push the carriage all the way out. Again, I'm going to start to push into my left leg, straighten, tuck my pelvis, lift my hips, and then back out into a lunge. Keep going. It's an exhale to pike, an inhale to come back down. I'm just lifting my left foot straight off the floor, drawing my abs in to my back to scoop and lift. Exhale, tuck pike. Inhale back. Let's do 4. Really scoop into those low abs to lift the foot off the floor for 2 and 1. Okay, once we come back in, we're gonna pause in. The carriage should come all the way back. We're gonna walk around to the other side, and then we have the same thing on the other side. So left foot is gonna go back, right foot is on the floor, my foot is right by the foot bar, both hands are on the foot bar. I'm gonna set my left knee down. I'm pushing out with my left knee first, pause. I push out with my right leg, second, pause. Then my right knee comes in, and then when I can't bring it in anymore, the left knee finish pulling back in. 5 total. Left leg pushes out, right leg pushes out, we pause. Right leg bends, left knee finishes pulling all the way back in. So stretching out the front of the left leg, back of the right. So this should be all over the body. We have 2 more. And then last one, we go out with the left, out with the right, pause, in with the right, in with the left. Now we push out, we hold this next time. So we push out with the left, we push out with the right, we hold, we drop the chest, we push the carriage as far out as we can. Again, front of the left leg, back of the right, hold here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, then bend the right knee, keep the left leg behind you. Both hands go to the very outside of our foot bar. We press into the left hip, and then I'm trying to find as much length in the left side of the body as possible so I can really open up and stretch out my quad, hip flexor, psoas, obliques, and you might get a stretch in your lat. Okay, then the carriage comes all the way back in. We rotate towards our reformer into those splits. I'm gonna push the carriage out. Both hands can go onto the frame of my reformer. Again, range of motion is up to you. I am not super flexible this way, so you can go much further than me if you can. Okay, then very carefully, we're gonna come back in. We're gonna rotate towards our foot bars again. This time, the left knee stays off of the carriage. The heel is lifted up high. The toes are on the carriage. We're gonna push our left leg out, hold. I'm gonna bend my right knee to push the carriage even further away. Now, the left leg stays long. I'm gonna start to tuck my pelvis, extend my right leg, lift my hips up, and then I'm gonna drop it back down. So tuck, pike to lift, and then back down. Again, the idea is really rounding through your spine, scooping into your abs to lift your hips up. So try to get it in your core and not the springs. The right foot should just go straight off the floor and then back down onto the floor. It goes straight off the floor and back down. Exhale, scoop, lift. Inhale back for 4, 2, and 1. Okay, go ahead, bring the carriage all the way back in. Now, we're gonna keep going with some core work. I'm gonna stay on this one heavy spring. If you need to make it a little heavier to make it easier, you can always add on a light spring for planks. Right hand to the right corner, left hand to the left corner, left foot to the shoulder block furthest away from you, heel is lifted. I'm gonna push out, my chest is right over the foot bar. I'm gonna step my right foot up. Hold your planks. Long stretch, we're gonna push out with the arms, pull in with the arms, inhale, push, exhale, pull. Abs are just drawing in towards our backs here. Push out, pull in, legs stay long. 3, 2, and 1. Now, once we come back in, we're gonna pause, carefully bend our knees, take our feet together, knees wide, push the arms out, keep the hips lifted, drop the chest down in between the arms, hold. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, I'm keeping my hips lifted here. Okay, then we're gonna lift the chest, bring the carriage back in. We're gonna take our feet back up against the shoulder blocks. I'm gonna take my knees that same distance as my feet. Hands are gonna stay on the foot bar, thumbs stay with your fingers. We're gonna bring our butt back towards our heels. I'm gonna go about 2 fist distance away, maybe a little further than that, but not too far, about 2 fist distance away with your butt. You're gonna tuck your pelvis, round through your spine, scoop into your abs. We're gonna go into a knees off. Again, one heavy spring. We're gonna tuck, round, find that C shape of your spine. I'm gonna lift my knees a few inches off the carriage, hold, legs are gonna push out, arms stay, we tuck, we pull in, legs push, we tuck to pull in. Abs are going in to our backs. The arms stay in the same spot the entire time. We scoop, we tuck. 3, exhale to pull. 2, 1, carefully set the knees down. Take the feet together again, knees open out a little wider. Drop the hips this time, and then chest down in between the arms. In through the nose, out through the mouth with the breath. Okay, then take your right hand underneath your body, thread the needle. The palm should be rotated up to the ceiling. Rotate to the left side. Try to bring your right shoulder down. Left arm stays long. In through the nose, out through the mouth with your breath. Then we're gonna come back, center, right hand on, thread that left arm under, hold here, in through the nose, out through the mouth again. All right, then we come back. We're gonna rotate to the right side. When we rotate to the right, my right shin is gonna be up against the shoulder blocks, and then my left leg is just gonna be bent out in front of me for mermaids. Now, if this doesn't work for hips or knees, you can have your feet on the floor. Left hand is going to go onto the foot bar. We're gonna push out, our right arm goes up and over. Palm can either be rotated to the floor or to the ceiling. That's up to you. And when we go up and over, I'm thinking about pulling my right sits bones down to the carriage so I can really open up from that right side body. We're gonna bring our carriage in, and then we're gonna take our right hand to the headrest, and we're going up and over for that counter stretch. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And we come back to the center, we go to your foot bar one more time, we press out, we go up and over. This time we rotate the torso to the floor, right hand catches. Left hand slides wide, we push with the left palm, we pull with the right. This is one of my favorite stretches on the reformer. You should get a big stretch in that right side of the body. So push left, pull right. Again, your chest should be parallel to the floor. Then we're going to be evenly weighted throughout both palms. Lift your chest, bring the carriage all the way in. We can rotate back to center. Then if you rotate towards your shoulder blocks, you should be able to set up right away on the other side with the left shin up against the shoulder blocks and then the right leg out in front of you. Again, if this doesn't work for hips or knees, feet on the floor. Right hand is on the foot bar, we press out, we go up and over. Again, the left palm can either be rotated to the floor or the ceiling. I'm pulling my left sits bones down. I'm kind of arcing through my back, so it's almost like in a little rainbow shape here. And then we're gonna come center, counter stretch, left hand down, right arm goes up and over. Then we come back to the center to the foot bar, we press out, up and over. Now this time we rotate the torso to the floor. The left hand catches, the right hand slides wide. We push with the right, we pull with the left. So a big stretch in that left lat. So push right, pull left. hold that stretch. Then evenly weighted throughout both palms, lift the chest, bring the carriage all the way back in. Okay, add on one light spring with your existing heavy. We're gonna lie ourselves down onto our formers, do some legs, and then we're gonna do some leg stretches after that. So one heavy, one light. Headrest can be up or down, that's up to you. Grab just your right strap. It's gonna go long loop onto the arch of your right foot. Right knee is gonna be into a tabletop position, neutral spine. Then your left knee goes up into a tabletop position as well. We're gonna exhale and push our right leg out away from us. We bend to come back in. I'm gonna exhale, press, and then inhale back in. I'm actually gonna make that a little heavier for myself. If you want a heavier load for springs, you can go one heavy, one medium spring. I'm gonna take off the light. I want it a little heavier for my legs. So up to you, one heavy, one light, or one heavy, one medium. Single leg squats. I'm pushing out and in with my right leg. My left knee just stays in that tabletop position the entire time. My strap is just kind of hanging out on my shin the entire time too. Taking my hands onto my pelvis just to make sure that my pelvis is staying nice and still. It's an exhale to push out, and then an inhale as we bend to come back in, squeezing my glutes. So quads, glutes, and hamstrings. 4 more. Toes should be pointed up towards the ceiling. All right, now this next time we push out, hold the leg out without losing our neutral spine. We're gonna bring the leg straight up to the ceiling. Now, rather than having a straight leg, I'm gonna find a micro bend to my knee. So just a slight bend to your right knee. We pull the leg down with that slight bend. We hinge, come up. We pull down with a slight bend. We hinge, and you should feel your glutes and your hamstrings firing up a little more, keeping that little bend to your right knee the entire time. Again, holding our pelvis nice and still. We exhale to pull down. We inhale to hinge. Feel your quads, glutes, and then hamstrings really working to pull and hinge. Let's do 4. 2, and 1. Okay, now once we come back up, our left foot can go down onto the wooden platform. We can pull our strap. Do not worry about your neutral spine here. Hold that stretch. Okay, then we're gonna take our left foot. It's gonna go to the right knee. Bend the right knee for that figure 4 stretch. So the more we bend the knee, the deeper we'll get into that left piriformis. If you want to push your left knee out away from you, you can. Again, do not worry about your neutral spine here. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you can't get your ankle to your knee, you can always go ankle to shin or ankle to ankle and give your figure 4 stretch too. Okay, we're gonna extend our right leg back up. Set your left foot down. I'm gonna give it one more tug just to stretch out my hamstring and my glute. And then I'm gonna take that strap off of my foot, hang it back up onto the peg. I'm gonna grab my left loop, goes onto the arch of the foot. Knee is in a tabletop position, neutral spine, right knee up into our tabletop as well. Single leg squats. We exhale to push out. We inhale to bend to come back in, out, and in. Again, I'm squeezing my glute every time I push away. You can take your hands onto your pelvis, just making sure that you're holding your neutral spine the entire time. Exhale, push. Inhale back, out, and in. Squeeze that glute. Sacrum just stays nice and heavy. Four, 2, All right, on this last one, we hold out. Now we keep a little bend to our knee, so we're not fully extending it. We go up towards the ceiling, keep that little bend, pull the leg back down. Go up towards the ceiling, pull down, keeping that little bend. Again, when we have that bend, that is gonna fire up our glute and our hamstring just a little more than if the leg was straight. Inhale, lift, exhale, as we pull back down, hinge up, pull down. Or more. And then last one. Okay, now when that leg goes back up, we can set the right foot onto the wooden platform. We're gonna tug, give our hamstring, our glute a little stretch. Do not worry about your neutral spine whatsoever here. Okay, then I'm gonna take my right ankle to my left knee, bend my left knee, and then if you want a deeper stretch, you can push your right knee out. Again, if you can't get your ankle to your knee, you can always go ankle to calf or shin, ankle to ankle, giving that right piriformis a stretch. Okay, we're gonna extend our left leg long. We're gonna take our right foot off. Again, give your strap another pull just to stretch out that hamstring, that glute one more time. And we're gonna take it off the foot. Now, I'm gonna stay on this one heavy, one medium spring. If you wanna go lighter than that, you can always go one heavy, one light. If you are already on a heavy light, you can stay there. We're just gonna go into some arm work with your straps. So keep the left loop. I'm gonna grab the right loop back into my hand. If you do choose to stay heavier, so one heavy, one medium spring, and it's too heavy, you can always use your long loops instead of your short. I'm going to start with my short loop, see how I feel. Arms are gonna go straight up to the ceiling. My hands are right over my shoulders. I'm right into a neutral spine. Knees are just gonna go up into a tabletop position. My legs are zipped together. I'm gonna pull my arms down one time towards the mat. I'm gonna hold tricep press. I'm gonna inhale, bend the elbows, exhale to press, inhale, bend, exhale, press. Drawing my abs in on every single exhale. Again, I'm inhaling to bend, and then I'm just exhaling to press my palms back down, scooping into my low abs, holding my neutral spine. My legs are staying zipped together. Again, if that's too heavy, you can change to your long loops. If that's still too heavy, you can change your springs. We're gonna go for 2. Last one. Now when we press, we hold, we rotate our palms towards our hips. Arms stay long. We just open our arms out to a T, and we exhale to press down to our hips. Out to a T, exhaling as we press palms to our hips. We want to feel our lats and our biceps engaging on that press. Again, on every exhale, I'm scooping into my abs, so they're drawing in to my back as I press my palms to my hips. We'll go for 4 more. 3. Now this next time we press to the hips, we pause. We're gonna finish off with circles. We go up to our shoulders, out to a T. We press to the hips. We go up, out, and we exhale as we press our palms back towards our hips. The movement just coming right from the shoulders. The next time we bring our arms up to the ceiling, we pause and we reverse. We go down to the hips, open out to your T, back up to the ceiling. Exhale to pull, inhaling as we circle around and back up, again, right from our shoulders, maintaining our neutral spine the entire time, scooping into those abs. We're just doing 2 more circles. And then last one. Now, once we come back up, pause, relax our feet down. We're gonna hang our straps up onto the pegs. Stay lying down. I'm gonna take my shoulder blocks into my hands. My elbows are gonna be open wide out to the sides of the room so I can open up my chest. Knees are gonna go up into a tabletop position, legs are zipped together. Now, if this bothers your low back, then keep your feet on the foot bar. Otherwise, the knees stay in tabletop. They're zipped together. I'm gonna inhale, sway my knees to the right side of the room. My hip, my back can come up. My left shoulder's gonna try to stay heavy. And then I'm exhaling to pull my legs back center. Then I'm inhaling to sway to the left side, trying to keep that right shoulder down. And then I'm exhaling to pull back center. So knee sways. Again, if it is an issue for the low backs or your back at all, set your feet onto your foot bar and you can do your knee sways with your feet down. I'm trying to keep my shoulders heavy as my hip and back come up. It's an inhale to sway and an exhale to pull back center. We're gonna do a few more. Engaging my obliques to pull my legs back center. All right, we're gonna do one more to the right, one more to the left. And then when we do finish that one to the left, we're gonna relax our feet, arms can go down to our sides, and then we'll sit ourselves off to the sides of our reformers. Okay, I'm gonna go to one heavy spring. If your shoulders are an issue, I would go one medium instead of a heavy, but if your shoulders are fine, you can do one heavy spring. Last little stretch. We're gonna walk in front of our reformers, face our foot bars. We're gonna fold over our foot bars. Hands are gonna go onto the two front corners of the carriage. Again, if this is too heavy for shoulders, go to one medium instead of one heavy. I'm gonna push the carriage out, keep my heels where they're at. My hips are gonna stay back. I'm gonna drop my chest down in between my arms. And then I'm gonna tuck my pelvis around through my spine to come all the way back in. So again, we're gonna inhale, push the carriage out, let the chest drop down in between the arms. And then we're exhaling to tuck round to come back in. Let's do two more there. Inhale as we push away. Exhale round to come back in. Now in this last one, we're gonna push the carriage out. We're gonna hold our carriage out. So stay right here. Your chest does not move, your legs don't move. I'm gonna bend my elbows wide to bring the carriage about halfway in. I'm gonna push all the way out for push-ups. We go wide, we press, wide, press. Again, my spine and my hips are staying in the same spot the entire time. I'm drawing my abs in to my back. Wide and exhale, press. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Now when we push out, we're gonna hold all the way out. Drop your chest down a little further in between your arms. Tuck your pelvis around through the spine to come back in. Okay, take your left hand in front of your right. Right hand stays on the right corner. We're gonna push the carriage out, find length in the left side of the body, and then around through the spine to come back in. Push out again, find length in that left side, and then we can exhale around to come back in. We're just gonna go for 2, and then last one. Inhale away and exhale back. Okay, take the left hand to the left corner, right hand goes in front of it. We push the carriage out. We find length in the right side of the body this time. And then we exhale, we round, and we come back in. Again, we inhale to push out, find length in that right side. Tuck around to come back in. Let's do 2 more. And then last one, out and round in. Okay, last thing, take that right hand to the right corner. One more push out. I'm gonna press my carriage out, drop my chest down in between my arms, take a deep inhale here, feel my ribs really expand, feel my belly expand. And then on my exhale, I'm gonna tuck my pelvis round through my spine to come back in. We're gonna keep this rounded shape in our spine. Carriage is gonna stay all the way in. My hands come off the foot bar from my tailbone, one vertebrae at a time. I'm gonna roll my spine all the way up. When my shoulders come up, then my head can come up. I'm gonna give my shoulders a roll back, and then we can step off to the sides. You are all finished with that strengthen and stretch class. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much as always for joining me today. I always appreciate the support.